Hi, my name's Jack and I'm one of the lead presenters on HUMN, and I am a fitness professional, but I've spent nearly a decade within the fitness industry coaching clients, learning, participating, and I am an enthusiast. I love everything about fitness, and that is why I'm so invested in being a presenter and bringing functional fitness to you. My fitness journey started when I was very young. I was always into sports as I grew up and tried to do football, wasn't very good at that, I was a little bit rough. I found out that I was not very good at football because I started at centre half, and the day that the coach asked me to go in goals was the day that I knew that football wasn't for me. So I quickly transitioned to rugby at that point, and that was my calling. So I remember my first ever game of rugby, turned up there, kit on, muddy as you like, and there was one moment in the game where I nailed this guy, tackled him to the ground, he passed the ball to someone else, but I got up quicker than anyone else, nailed that guy, who he also passed the ball on, and then I've nailed the third guy, so 3 in a row, and I knew at that point that I found my game. And that was very, very early on, so I continued with rugby until I was about 16, and then that is where strength and conditioning came in. So at that point we were, and I'm talking like when I was 16, that was a little bit of time ago now, but at that point the standard of equipment and coaching, probably understanding as well for strength and conditioning in sports for kids that age, probably wasn't that great. So we started off with some absolute basics. We looked at squat, deadlift, and if I'm honest, I hated it when I was there for the first time because of the coaching that was there. I just had no idea what I was doing, and it was really, really alien. But from that day, it almost opened up a deep black hole of learning about the fitness industry, and that's when I really found my passion for what I do now. So from that age of 16, was in high school at the time, a few of my mates were all young lads in there wanting to get bigger chests and abs, so there was a small group of us that started going to the gym. But then when I got to the age of 21, I left rugby because I was doing that as a career. I was a coach at the same time for young kids, and I left that career when I was 21, and that's when I made the transition into the fitness industry, so I became a PT. So my goals in the fitness industry always were centered around helping my clients live a better life. When it started out, I wanted to be a transformation coach that was going to help people get that drastic start and end. Oh my God, I looked like that and now I look like this. But what I quickly realized was that it wasn't really what I was about. I enjoy helping people unlock new knowledge that they can use in their life forever. And it's not always tied to looking different, it's feeling different as well. And that was a big thing for me when I kind of understood that and started to help people understand that. So moving forward with my career, that's always the foundation of what I want to do. But now, the more I learn about business, the more I learn about how to scale my own business so I can help people from all over the world, and that's what I'm passionate about doing now. But does it fit in with my athletic goals? Sometimes, but I do think that at the moment I'm striking a good balance between work and training that manages both cups for me. Favourite movement at the moment is power clean and jerk, but at a 80% weight, so I can sling it, just grip and rip it and just slam it overhead. That is the fun one where you can get a few of them going in a row. Controversial, but running is probably my least favourite thing to do. So someone coming from a sports background, I like short sprints. So anything longer than like 600 to 800 metres, I'm hating it. I'll get it done, but I'm hating it. So we also have some high rocks goals coming up, so that is a real weakness of mine that I'm going to have to really work on. And in terms of actual movements, what else do I hate? Oh, probably something to do with snatch is a love-hate. I would like to be very good at it, but I find it very difficult because my overhead mobility, and I'm going to blame rugby, but my overhead mobility is not the best, so I find it difficult to get into comfortable positions, and it frustrates me more than anything else. This year is the first year where I've given the CrossFit Open a proper crack. I have been into competitive team sports for probably the last 3 years, but I've always been interested in CrossFit, but probably my ego held me back because I knew that when I stepped into that realm I'd be a complete beginner again. But probably 6 to 8 months ago I just took the plunge and I went all in on really learning how to develop the skills that were necessary to enjoy the sport of CrossFit. So this year when the CrossFit Open rolls around, that is what my main goal is to go to every workout and be able to RX it and enjoy it, so that I don't have to turn up and think like, I can't do this, or I can't go to the intensity that I would like to go to. So that's what I've been working hard to try and do. So this year, that's what I'm going to achieve in the Open.